before any of this happened, before I came here to take adult classes, before I met Ivan, before I sat here filming this vlog, before my Nutcracker performance, I was cold calling dance studios hoping somebody would give me a chance. Hi, I'm Aaron, and welcome to Faith and Reverence. I already spoke on how my ballet journey started with taking private lessons for 2.5 years, all of that. I was sitting one day talking to my friend Matt, and I was explaining to him that I felt this is what I really wanted to do. I want to pursue ballet and I want to do it professionally. This was after a couple years had passed of taking private lessons. This is when I finally had a chance to say, yes, this is what I want to do with my life. I'm sure of it. And when I explained my passion to him, he told me, if this is what you want to do with your life, then you really need to pursue it. He said, you need to quit your job. Actually, he's a pretty responsible guy. So his next statement was, well, no, don't quit your job. But he says, but you know what I mean. So the point was there. I understood what he was trying to say. It was that I needed to be willing to quit my job, and I needed to be willing to do whatever it took to pursue this career in dance. One thing led to another, and I quickly determined that I was going to reach out to dance studios, specifically ones that offer ballet or adult ballet. I started going on Google and I just called. I called as many dance studios and dance studio owners and teachers as I possibly could. And I just, my pitch was actually genius. I really didn't care about sales. It's not something that I like to do. I'll go so far as to say I hated sales at the time. But I came up with the best pitch ever because it was authentic. I just told people, I said, hey, my name is Aaron Hollinsworth. I'm a 31-year-old adult late starter in ballet. This is what I'm passionate about. I want to become a professional dancer. I do handyman work and I do videography and photography work. What would it take for your studio to hire me? That was it. I mean, it would, not perfect, but I repeated it over and over and over and over again to the point where it was like second nature. And I just kept calling. Dance studios are notorious for not answering their phones, though. So out of the couple hundred studios that I called, I don't know, maybe 25% of them actually answered the phone. But I called and I called and I called, and, I got various responses. I will say it was generally very positive. It was probably much better, reactions from people than I would have gotten doing other types of sales to other businesses for other products or whatever. They were actually very supportive. When I say they, I say anyone who answered the phone for the most part. But of course, there was some rejection. There were, as I mentioned, a lot of people that didn't even answer, and it was difficult, and I felt nervous. It wasn't comfortable, but I knew that I had to do what was uncomfortable in order to achieve my goals, and I had no idea where it was going to lead. I remember contacting the couple hundred dance studios and thinking, man, I'm running out of options here. I'm going through Google. I got to switch towns. I got to switch counties. I got to get very strategic as to how I organize these lists to figure out who. And I remember I even called some places twice, and that was awkward because you call them once, they're pretty cool. You call them twice within a 1 week period or even a 1 day period in some cases, well, they might not be so thrilled with that, right? So it was very uncomfortable. It wasn't something that I particularly loved to do, but I knew that I had to do it in order to pursue what I wanted to pursue in life. Out of all of the studios I called, funny enough, it was one text message which changed everything. After having called, I ended up texting Princess Ballet Academy with my pitch. Julia, the studio manager, ended up getting back to me. I called her back, we spoke, explained my situation, and she invited me to go take a class. So, of course, I go to take a class, and then in my mind, I'm thinking, yes, of course I'll take a class. Like, that's totally up my alley, but I'm not calling about taking classes. I'm calling about doing work for you guys. But, of course, I do, kind of do what you're told a little bit. It's not like I was told to take the class, but I felt, yeah, you got to start somewhere, right? Take some classes there, take a class at least at the very minimum, and then start to build that relationship. So I went, I took a class, and I think it may have been my first ever adult group class actually. So there's that. It was an intro course, and it was the very last class in the intro course, and that was even really difficult for me because I was such a beginner. It's funny because I'm calling people saying I want to become a professional dancer. I'm like absolute beginner at this point. So it just people showed me grace, but I'm in my mind, some people are probably thinking, man, this guy's crazy. He's saying he wants to become a professional ballet dancer. He hardly knows anything about ballet. So I show up, I take this class. I end up getting on a call with Ivan eventually, and I ask him to train me, and he refuses, very respectfully refuses. And now I understand why, simply because he doesn't have the time. But he does offer to help me in any way possible. And at the time, I didn't really know what that meant or what that would translate to in practice. But he did make it clear to me that he wanted to help me. But I wasn't sure exactly what that would entail. That one door led to so many opportunities which I could never anticipate. Me being able to get all of this account credit in exchange for work, which I now can use to take as many classes as I want at the studio and pursue my training more fully. Me getting my first ever ballet performance opportunity in the Nutcracker in such a short period of time, let alone my first paid ballet performance. But I think most importantly, building this amazing relationship with these amazing people at the studio and becoming such good friends with Ivan, that's something that's really priceless. All of these opportunities and pursuing ballet and everything, it's great. It's what I want to do. But at the end of the day, relationships are what are most important in this life, because you can't take any of the material things with you. You can't take any accomplishments with you, but the relationships are just so important, and that those are what are going to last, I think, even into eternity. Having people in your life that are like family, who are there for you and you're there for them, and just knowing that you're never going to be alone. Obviously, I know I'm never going to be alone because God's always there with me. But there's something about human relationships and not being alone in a social sense, right? That's something that I think we all kind of long for, is to have those human relationships and have really good ones and have people that we can trust and that we love and that love us. And I can honestly say that I've obtained that here in this family environment, as I always call it, because that's truly what it is. It's my family. I feel that those are the relationships that are going to last for the rest of my life and beyond. And I just think that that's really important to have. Personally, if I wait to do something until I feel that I'm ready, then I may never do it. Or if it's something that is really important in life or really big or has a big payout, maybe even a lot of risk involved with it, and I wait until I'm ready, then it just won't get done, or I'll overanalyze it and I'll feel that it needs to be perfect, right? So I think it's so important for us to remember that we shouldn't act based on our feeling of readiness, because when we move, especially down the path that God intends for us to go down, or doing the things which God intends for us to do, then God will meet us there. We move and take action, and God will take care of the rest. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be eloquent. Doing this cold calling was very uncomfortable for me, as I mentioned. Taking these intermediate classes when I was a beginner was extremely uncomfortable for me. But another thing that I realized is discomfort is so crucial to our growth in life, in our career, in our relationships, in anything. In ballet, certainly. When you are in an uncomfortable situation or position, and if you're not now, trust me, you will be eventually at some point, and you will be again and again and again, different situations which are uncomfortable. being willing to either put yourself in that situation, or if you're in it, to endure it and to push through it despite it being uncomfortable, is what will make you grow and will make you succeed in life. It's not about comfortability, because this is not a comfortable world that we live in. Doing great things is not comfortable. Discipline is not comfortable at the time, but eventually it pays off. And then you look back and you say, thank God. Athletes, dancers, they don't feel that going to class every day and working their butts off is super comfortable physically. I mean, there is some enjoyment to be had out of it, obviously, or else we wouldn't do it. But it's not comfortable. When I wake up in the morning every single day, 6 days a week, I know that I need to do my calisthenics workout, and I need to do something at the bar, maybe even, God forbid, do something in center. And I need to do my stretches, and I need to spend a couple hours every day doing some ballet and some body work and things like that. Sometimes I feel like doing it. Sometimes I don't feel like doing it. Sometimes I absolutely don't want to do it. Sometimes I don't even get around to doing it until nighttime, even though I planned on doing it in the morning, but I woke up late and then I had to run on the road. So then now I have to do it at night when I'm already dead tired. And it's like, that's not comfortable. I don't want to do it in that moment, but I do it. And then I'm happy that I did it. And then I see the growth and I see the progress with the consistency and with the effort. So, as I said, don't wait until you're ready. Act, move. If you don't know what to do, then pray to God and ask him. The Bible says that if anyone not have wisdom and ask God for it, that God will gladly give it to him. So if you don't know what you're supposed to be doing, ask God for it and then do it. It's probably not going to be easy, but nothing good in life is easy. Everything that we want in life that God will give us that is great and is just perfect and amazing is not going to be easy. It's going to be extremely difficult. I hate to break it to you. I hope that doesn't discourage you. I hope that it encourages you and motivates you to take action and to do it now. What is it that thing that you've wanted to do, but you're waiting because you don't think that you're ready or that you're qualified? Just do it. I hope that this inspires somebody to move forward with their goals and to pursue what it is that they want to do. I know that it's really important for me, and I haven't always lived that way, but certainly I'm choosing to live that way now. I'm choosing not to get distracted by the difficulties. I'm choosing to let the difficulties motivate me and push me forward even more. And I'm choosing to not allow myself to feel despaired by my lack of qualifications, but instead I'm choosing to allow that lack of qualifications to motivate me even more and to push me even harder so that I can get better and do what it is that I want to do in the way that I want to do it. So once again, I really appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys next time.